guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Walker Ford, and we have something first on Rady's Rides for you. This is the all-new 2020 Ford Escape. So let's talk a little bit about what this Escape means. The Escape is going to be a crucial pinpoint in Ford's lineup. The reason why, as many of you are aware, Ford has gotten rid of all their passenger cars as we go through 2019 and into 2020. The only car left is the Mustang. With this redesign, top to bottom, front to back Escape, it's now going to slot in maybe where some people would have went that Ford Focus route, or maybe even the Ford Fiesta route, because what they've done is they've brought it into a new style to fit the perfect, I guess you would call, urbanite. Somebody who wants an SUV style vehicle, this crossover vehicle, wants all-wheel drive, because this one has all-wheel drive as an option, but also gives you a little bit more space inside, a little bit higher seating position. Now, what's great about the 2020 Escape is you're going to have 4 different engine options. It starts with an inline-3 turbocharged engine. It then has what this one has, an SEL trim. This has the optional 2-liter inline-4 turbocharged engine. There's going to be a hybrid and also an electric, full electric plug-in. So you're going to have lots of different trim levels, but also engine options. All of them are going to be controlled by that 8-speed automatic transmission. So let's go ahead, dive into the 2020 Ford Escape and see what's different from the outgoing one. So right off the bat, you'll see what Ford has done with redesigning the headlight housing. I really like what they've done on the inside. The actual housing is pretty large, but on the interior, there's some nice black material, some nice shiny bits in there, and it really gives the car a nice 21st century look. As we pan down, you do have these wonderful size fog lamps. What I like on this SEL trim, SEL level trim, is that there's no fake vents. It's nice to just put a fog lamp there instead of putting all this other plastic. Now, as we come across the front, you'll see a very similar grille design to a lot of other Ford products. Gloss black, little bit of shiny chrome. It's interesting because from the front, it almost looks like a Ford Focus. Now, just so you know, this car is a little bit wider. It's about 2 inches wider on the body from the outgoing Escape, 4 inches wider if you're counting the side mirrors. It's also a little bit longer, and the wheelbase is just a tad longer as well. I like the flat black down here, the silver trim, but from passenger side all the way to driver's side, very aerodynamic shape. And like I said, when it comes to it looking like a car, it does look like a car, even though this is an SUV crossover. Now, as we come around the bend here, this is the standard wheel. So 18-inch wheel, you do have the option to go 19-inch on an SEL trim. I do like the style of the wheel. You got brushed aluminum. I like the gunmetal gray, that nice blue Ford logo in the center. Another thing that I think was smart is that they took the flat black and brought it all the way around the fender well. It seems that when they do that, it gives the car a little bit more of a off-road look, even though this vehicle, probably the most off-roading it's going to do is probably a soccer field somewhere when the kids are being dropped off. But I really do like this color. Sparkles like a ruby in the sun. Going into the mirrors, they did spill the paint here. I am going to zonk this though. There's no turn signals built into the mirror. So I would like to see that even on the SEL trim. As you go up, remember, you can go limited and all that good stuff. Very, very low roof line. Now remember, I'm 6 feet tall. This one has the full Vista roof. So panoramic roof style. Really like the way it's all blacked out on the roof. You have these flat black roof rails, which you can get the crossbars. Putting a kayak on the top of this vehicle is going to be a piece of cake because of how low that roof line is. I do like the way that they just kept the shiny silver at the top, flat here on the bottom. Another thing that really gives this vehicle, this Escape, a different perspective from the outgoing one is the belt line, where the belt line is, and also this lower area that's flat black that they kind of brought up. I think that was smart to do because it gives the side such a nice look to it, where if they didn't, it would just kind of look flat-sided. As we come down to the rear, very nice quarter window. I like the way it's gloss black, kind of all fits flush in. And then I think it's very smart the way they took that trim and flared it out to the rear. As we get to the rear, obviously going to be full redesign. You have your nice taillight design, LED taillights. I like the low roof spoiler, and I also think it was smart the way that they went with a clear third brake light at the top. Now, one thing I do want to point out is this is a pre-production model. This one is not for sale, but one thing to tell you that it's a pre-production model, it has all-wheel drive, but if you look at this Ford EcoBoost logo here, it says four-wheel drive. This is not going to be on the production model. It's going to say AWD, which is all-wheel drive. Also, with the flat black, I like the way they brought it across the rear bumper. This having that 2-liter, that optional engine, automatically gets the tow package. So that's something that you're going to see in the ordering process. It can be deleted if the person buying the car does not want it, but automatically you go 2-liter EcoBoost, you're going to have that tow package. I like the Escape logo across the back, but very, very clean finish. And I think that's really, comparing it to the outgoing Escape, a cleaner design, especially when we get to the interior. But let's go ahead, pop the hood, and see what's powering this Escape. All right, guys, we got the hood popped on this 2020 Escape. Now remember, this is the first time that I've ever popped the hood on a 2020 Escape, because at the New York Auto Show, Ford had the release inside removed to where you couldn't pop the hood. One thing we're gonna start off the bat is I'm zonking it. Not only am I gonna zonk it because it's a prop rod, this hood, right now it's about 96 degrees in sunny Clearwater, Florida. This hood is hot, very, very hot. So I wish they would have put just a little bit of rubber trim here so that when you go to lift the hoods, especially because you have the prop rod, it would be nice to have that there to protect your fingers because it's really hot. One thing that's interesting is that Ford's following what a lot of other manufacturers are doing, especially BMW. To pop the hood, you actually pull on the release twice and then you just lift it. It would have been nice to have some hydraulic struts under here, even at the SEL trim. But let's see what we're working with. This one has that optional 2-liter EcoBoost engine. So on this particular one, 250 horsepower, because remember, when we say EcoBoost, we're talking about turbocharged engine, 250 horsepower, 275 pound-feet of torque. You do, though, like I said, have 4 powertrain options, a 1.5-liter 3-cylinder, you have the 2-liter, you have the hybrid, and then the full electric plug-in. Powered, goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. This one has the optional all-wheel drive. When it comes to towing, you could tow up to 3,500 pounds with this particular trim level with the all-wheel drive and all that. What I like about underneath here is that they didn't go too crazy with the plastic. You could clearly see where the engine is. What's interesting is if you ever come to Walker Ford to test drive one of these, push on this. It's like a rubber material. Very, very interesting, but clean underneath the hood. Everything is spaced out nice and they didn't go crazy with the plastic. I just want some protection here and we need to get rid of this. But why don't we go ahead, fire up this 2020 Escape and see what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside the 2020 Ford Escape SEL trim level. This is nice to bring to you because at the New York Auto Show, it was kind of dark. You really didn't get to see a lot. We didn't have it running. Now, if you're wondering price, what's the price on this? Base Escape is $24,995. That's the MSRP, $24,995. They have not released all the prices for all the different trim levels yet, but expect it to be anywhere between $500 to $700 more than last year's model, depending on which trim that you're looking at. Now, all of them standard get Ford's new Co-Pilot 360, all those safety features. This one even has some extras that are optional. But let's go ahead, see at the SEL trim level what this entails. So you look on the door panel, there is a lot of dark black, and there is a funky design going on the back portion of the door. Little different. I'm not sold on it yet. I am gonna zonk the door panel though, because I would like to see a little contrast stitching or something like that going on. Now there is some silver near the top and all the material on the door is soft, so that's definitely a big thumbs up. A little bit of silver on the handle too, but other than that, as you come to the dash, soft material, there's a continuation of that silver My only problem is, will this scratch over time if you are getting close to it with any rings or anything like that? You have a nice 8-inch infotainment system. It's that iPad style, but I like the way that it's sort of integrated into the bottom portion of the dash, almost like a Mazda product. It's a better setup than what Toyota's doing. I do like that. Very clear. The new sync systems work great. So that really, you can see how quick it is reacting and whatnot. Little bit of gloss black around the radio controls, some tastefully done AC vents. Here's where it gets a little plasticky. So it's a little bit harder plastic here. You have your good old fashioned standard AC control. So you got your blower switch here, temperature with a little digital gauge, which is kind of nice, heated steering wheel and heated seats. Little cubby area, which is great, no lid. So I'm gonna zonk that. I wish they had a lid, a 12 volt and USB in there. And then as we transition, I do like this material. It's plastic, but it looks like a wood grain, like a black wood grain. I think it's very tastefully done. 2 cup holders, nice silver trim. Now this silver trim is the trim that they should have put up here. This has like a nice clear coat over it to where it's gonna not get scratched so easily. You got your dial controller. Now, if you wanna know what it's like to drive a GT500, you could drive this car because guess what? This has the same dial controller as the GT500. What I like about it is that it has a nice sensation as you are going through it. Let me show you, also you have your mode selector button there, electric e-brake, very nice up. This is also gonna go through different driving modes, snow, eco, sport. I wanna show you the camera. I know a lot of people ask about what does the rear camera look on it. Still not the highest quality when it comes to the visual that you're getting, but still great where you have the directional bars, which is really nice. You can see your vehicle right there, and you can also zoom in. That's right off the rear bumper, which is a nice touch. When we go from that screen back to the center console area, I like the soft material here. There's that contrast stitching. You open it up, you got USB, nice little area for whatever you need. You can put a bag of chips in there, or beef jerky. I know Tom is on this beef jerky kick right now. Seats. These are the seats in the SEL. They look great. I like the contrast stitching. I like the nice perforated pattern. Manual controls on the passenger, electric assist on the driver, which is a nice touch. This one, like I told you earlier, has the optional Vista roof. So very nice. It's sort of like a sunroof and a half, and it's gonna open up and allow those rays to beam down on you and give you nice vitamin D. But why don't you come on over to the driver's side and I'll show you the business end behind the wheel. All right guys, business end of things, like I said, you get electric assist on the driver's side, which is really nice. Of course, besides the movement of the seat, you're gonna have full tilting and telescoping steering wheel. Steering wheel I like the thickness, nice soft material. I also like the way the buttons are just flat black. They're easy to read, easy to understand, a little bit of gloss just to kind of spruce it up. It would be nice for it to say escape here. I don't know, just a little touches like that. You still have your same plastic looking, extreme plastic looking stalks for your turn signal and your windshield wipers. This one does not have, I don't know if you hear the sirens, they know the 2020 Escape is here, so they're coming. But anyways, dash wise, this one does not have the optional dash. It has the standard dash. So I'm gonna go ahead and just move this out of the way a little bit for Tom to get in there. But it has an analog tachometer, analog speedometer, and a digital display where you could actually toggle through different information there in that center display. Now there is a beautiful, look at that, there's your car. There is a beautiful 12.3 inch LED display, which is an option. Let me also show you those drive modes. So you have deep, snow and sand, you have normal, eco, of course with a little leaf, sport, and then slippery. So little bit of variety for the modes, and with that all-wheel drive system, it's gonna keep you planted. Another thing that I do like about this particular one is I like the lighter headliner. I think with a lot of black material in here, a lot of dark material, having the lighter headliner really pays back full dividends. But let's get to probably one of the most important parts of this, the back seat, and see how it is back there. All right guys, back seat time of the Escape. I think this is where you're gonna see big dividends that pay. Not only on up front, I love the way that they redid the dash from the outgoing Escape, but back here they did a great job. I'm 6 feet tall. I did not move the seat. I left the seat exactly where I would have it as a driver, and you can see I still have plenty of room. They do cut out the backs of the full leather seats. That's another thing I like to see to give you more knee and leg room. You do have rear AC vents. I wish there was some type of control on them besides opening and closing them. 12 volt, but no USB. That's another place, another zonk. I would like a USB back here. So we're gonna zonk these vents and we're zonking down here. I would like to see a USB. Now, one thing that's really great is that these seats slide, which is awesome. They also recline, which is great. So you can sit back here and you can see plenty of headroom. I even opened up the sunshade all the way back just to show you how large that glass is up there. Really great to give you a nice open feel in here, which is wonderful. But why don't we go ahead, make sure we check out this for you guys. Very soft, 2 cup holders, very simple. You lock it on back, but why don't we go ahead, check out that back cargo area, because I know a lot of you have questions about that. Let's go check it out. All right, guys, the tail end of the business, one of the most important parts of any SUV or crossover. A lot of times people want to come here, you just press a button right there, electric assist opens up, and look at the amount of room that you have. Very well done on the back of this Escape. Now, one thing I want to bring out to you and point out is that if you're going to go full electric plug-in, the batteries are going to be stored in the back. So if you want to know what it's going to look like, there's actually a shelf system here. So this is on the lower setting. You could then take this portion and slide it up like that. That's what it's going to look like if you went electric plug-in. What's nice though is by keeping it in this higher setting, when we fold the seats down, it's going to be totally flat. Now, what's great is you get a 12 volt back here. Here's the zonk for me. There's no buttons and no way to fold those seats down from the back. You literally have to come over to the passenger doors and do it that way. And as you can see, nice and flat. Another thing, if you're going to go hybrid route, the batteries, size of small suitcases, are going to be stored in the footwells of where the passengers are. So you're only going to lose about 1 inch or so of space from storing it there. But you can see the amount of room and just how usable that this Escape could be for you on an everyday use. It's about that time though. This one we're not going to be able to take for a drive. This is a pre-production one, but I promise you, as soon as the production one gets here this fall at Walker Ford, we will be taking it for a drive. But if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go ahead and wrap up this 2020 Escape. All right, guys, it's been another great day here at Walker Ford. Definitely got to thank Greg, the product specialist for Ford, that brought this 2020 Escape out to Walker Ford. Also, of course, just like always, got to thank Frank Walker, Weston Walker, Tracy, Jason, Benji, Mark, everybody here so accommodating to get us these amazing Ford products for you on Rady's Rides. If these are the types of things that you like to see on the channel, leave a comment in the comment section. If you are new and you're on the way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making this great content just for you, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Rady's Rides merch. Every little bit helps. Speaking of every little bit, Tom Moschner, Big Guns McGee, is back from the Philippines after being gone for 2 months. He's gone on a little bit of a journey, a pilgrimage. He's come back a whole Tom Moschner, a whole Big Guns McGee, even bigger than before. So get ready for more awesome action from Tom. Check him out on Instagram at Mosh Photos. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.